Good afternoon to you all sports fans out there in Cyberland. It's your boys from Table 5, John J. Adam Fuller, courtesy of the Sports Bar. Each and every week trying to bring you a different perspective on stuff, pointing out the rights and wrongs as we see them. You know, just trying to give you a different angle on stuff. We invite you to join us anytime. Leave your comments at stacysports.com. Tell us you think we're crazy. Tell us you think we need to add another guest. Tell us whatever you want to tell us. My first up, man, I'm really upset about this Johnny Manziel thing, so I wanted to just jump right on into it if I could. Adam, first off, how you doing? Doing all right?
Doing pretty good. You know, a little tired, but you know, got this 3-day weekend and Tuesday get back at it on the clock. You know, but hey, football's here. Pennant races are getting closer in baseball, so, you know, good time of the year.
There you go. Stay on the grind, huh? Stay on the grind. Anyway, your thoughts on this Johnny Manziel thing, man, because I'm really disgusted by it, but your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think, you know, half a game suspension for a guy, you know, they said that he accepted money. There's a, you know, report out there. He accepted money for, you know, signing autographs. And, you know, NCAA rules, you know, you're not allowed to do that as a student athlete. They investigated it. They said they didn't find enough, you know, info on it. But, I mean, I think, you know, a little bit of BS going on. I think, you know, it would have been hard to sell the, you know, Alabama and Texas A&M game in a couple of weeks if Manziel's not there playing in it, you know. You know, also, you know, he's a, you know, reigning Heisman, which is, you know, a big part of the college tradition. So, you know, not having him play would have, you know, really hurt. I mean, it would have hurt the ratings, but not as much as people think. But, you know, if it was somebody else, you know, would they have gotten the same type of, you know, cuddling pretty much?
Well, I want to take it in three. I want to actually myself take it in about three different segments. I want to go before, during, and after what my opinion of the situation is. And it has to do with a lot what I talked about the double standard in sports. You know, you're still trying to drag Cam Newton through the mud, but, you know, this guy seems to get the golden pass. And, you know, you can call that what you want. You can spin that how you want. You can look at it how you want. But at the end of the day, the eyebrows have got to be raised. Okay, let's start with the before. Before this, Johnny Manziel was cocky. He was arrogant. He was full of himself. He had won the Heisman, and then he started messing up fast and picking up speed. Before you know it, he gets involved in just a bad situation, signing these autographs. Now, first of all, next time you go for a job application, next time you go to an interview, next time you go to the hospital, think of how long it takes for you just to fill out a couple of forms and sign your name. Then try to do that 4,000 times and see how long that takes. That's at least an overnighter, if not a weekend. That's first of all. So this was all pre-planned. Second, the media acts as if the guy is not smart enough to not be caught on tape. Like, okay, we didn't catch you on tape receiving any money. Okay, so that means that this guy is not smart enough. What do you think? He's dumb enough to get caught on camera taking money? Like, okay, make sure you get this money in the camera shot too, because you already got me signing the autographs. But I want everybody to believe I didn't get a cent for this, so make sure you don't get me taking no money in this thing. It's ridiculous. During this thing, he has been nothing but arrogant, cocky, you know, hanging out with LeBron and hanging out with Drake and all these other people. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, when is the last time I've seen a black athlete under investigation just high-signing and just, you know, Christmas caroling? I mean, just hanging out like nothing's wrong, everything's okay. And the problem I have with it is not the double standard because he's a black quarterback in this. The main reason I bring that up is because you are, as the media, You are dividing the sport along those racial lines. Dez Bryant had dinner with Deion Sanders. That was it. No money exchanged, no tickets. He didn't get any kind of perks to games, nothing. All he did was have dinner, and you suspended him for the rest of the year. This guy, the university admits that he was guilty of doing something that he shouldn't have done, and he gets suspended for a half. But see, this is the problem. Now you open the floodgates because the next guy that gets accused of something, the next guy that gets busted at doing something and is acquitted, he in my opinion, he should be able to turn around and sue the damn university. He should be able to turn around and sue the damn university. That's how much of an outrage this is. This is an absolute outrage. And what's more outrageous to me in the after, because that's during. Last but not least, last point on this, the after is what's killing me. To listen to these announcers during this game right now, Texas A&M, drool all over Johnny Manziel. Oh, the team has a different swagger when he's out there, and he's a leader, and he's got this fire. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, Cam played in a national championship game, and all you could talk about was his mess-up, his mistakes. Dez Bryant was one of the top receivers in the country, and all you could talk about was his NCAA violation. That's all you could talk about. But this guy, Johnny Manziel, who, if you're really watching this game and you're really paying attention, he's doing kind of that Tebow stuff, little dink and dunk 10-yard pass, and then the receiver will run in 60 yards. So they're making him look good. So just the double standard of treatment from the media. To me, no, everything is not a black and white issue, but it is so clear to me, and plain as the nose on your face sometimes, how the media chooses to make certain guys, no matter what, look good. And to me, it's sad, but those guys, most of the time, always look the same. And I'm really tired of it. Cam was exonerated. Auburn found no wrongdoing. Auburn found him innocent of all charges. You never heard that story on ESPN because it wasn't sexy enough. There was no money in it. I mean, they suspended Dez Bryant for an entire rest of the season for having dinner with the guy. This guy gets caught giving autographs, signing 4,000 autographs, and the university suspends him for a half. And this just goes to show that, yeah, most of the time it's not about a racial issue. Most of the time it's about an economic issue. But to me, it seems like if it's truly an economic issue, how does a guy like Cam Newton not generate dollars at Auburn? How does a guy like Dez Bryant not generate dollars? I mean, so in essence what you're saying is, oh, okay, it's not a racial issue when it comes to promoting this guy. Okay, so then if that's the case, and follow me on this, and I'll pass it to you, I'll give you the floor. But if race is not an issue in this, because a lot of people I talk to, they say, oh, race has nothing to do with it. And I say, okay, that's fine. But it seems to me that the same guy always gets the pass, and the same guy always gets the criticism. It's just that way. So if it's not really about color and it's just about economics, what are you telling me? Dez Bryant didn't generate dollars when he was in college? Cam Newton didn't generate dollars when they were in college? RG3, these guys, they don't generate money? What I honestly think, in just my honest opinion, is I still think it's easier for a lot of people to digest, and it's still easier for middle America and most of America and the American media to digest when it is a person of color. We can it's become acceptable, like, oh yeah, he's more prone to do that. He's more prone to dogfight and do all this other stuff. The reaction is always different. Because you haven't heard anything about Roger Clemens. We still talking about Barry Bonds, and Barry Bonds cheated the game, and Barry Bonds this, and Barry Bonds. You don't ever hear about Michael McGuire. You don't ever hear about Roger Clemens. So it's become where it's almost still really, sexy that we got to sell it to. You talked about the Alabama game. NCAA, if you were serious about dropping the hammer, and if you were serious, you'd make him miss that game. Now, sure, it's going to cost us millions of dollars, but you know what? He made your bed for you. He made your bed. And I think this is why we see so many guys, in my personal opinion, this is why we see so many guys a la Tebow, who was released earlier today. We'll get into that in a minute. But you see so many guys like Tebow who flame out at the next level because they're so overhyped and given so much credibility and path in college. You know, years ago, we talk about J.J. Redick. We talk about Adam Morrison. You know, guys who walked on water in college, and these guys got to the next level, and they stunk because you were so busy selling college tickets. You were so busy, you know, selling college jerseys and trying to promote your university that you failed to recognize that this guy really can't play. Now, I'm not saying Johnny Manziel can't play, but guess what? To real people who think about sports and pay attention, he's going to be more known as Johnny Autograph from now on. That's what I'm calling him. I'm calling him Johnny Autograph.
No doubt, you know, most of these guys are, you know, better athletes than you and me, you know, ordinary person. But, you know, when you get to the pros at any sport, you're playing against the best of the best. You're competing against, you know, the top tier guys that deserve the most of, you know, they deserve to be in the pros. There's not a lot of privilege going on because once you get to that level, you're in the spotlight. Everyone knows you. You know, you're a big-time quarterback from this school, and, you know, there's a lot of big-time quarterbacks or running backs or linebackers, you know, coming out, you know, that's, you know, hungry. And, you know, they try to get paid. You know, once you get to that level, it's less of a I would say it's less of a
it's less of a handout. I get what you're saying, and thank God for that. But what I'm saying is, to some extent, with the Tebows of the world, with the Matt Ryans of the world, we're still seeing that double standard even on a professional level. Because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to figure out how a guy who's not really even the best player on his own team, I'm talking about Matt Ryan in particular, and I'm wondering, how the hell does this guy get a $100 million extension and the guy's got one playoff win? How the hell does Tony Romo get a $100 million extension and the guy's got one playoff win? So, it's political to me, and I think those fall along racial lines, and I'm tired of the double standard. I'm really tired of it. I know some people will say, well, you know, John, you know, you've been, you know, beating the drum, you know, racially here too much lately and yada, yada, yada. It's not even really that. It's about right and wrong. And I think you're setting a bad precedent when you keep giving the same guys passes over and over and over. Because we just saw Tim Tebow get cut today. Let's move into our second topic. We saw Tim Tebow get cut today. Now, here's a guy who just passed for just over 30% this preseason. He's damn near dead last in every quarterback in the preseason to play this year. Okay? The guy's been sacked 7 times in 4 preseason games? But yet, I can guarantee you this week you're going to hear this clamoring and this commotion about, you know, who didn't give Tim Tebow a chance and why wasn't he given a chance and he was lied to in New York and all this other – why? I mean, that's what I said. I don't understand. We have recent examples. I'm not talking about black quarterbacks from Warren Moon's day because we know Warren Moon had to go to freaking Canada to get his respect. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about present-day guys. I mean, RG3 is quickly turning into public enemy number 1. And I don't know what he did. I've heard the tweets and the RG me and it's all about me and all this other stuff. I've heard the media is starting to quickly crumble around this dude, and I don't know why. All he did was play success and play great football last year. Rookie of the year. I mean, that's all he did was perform. That's all he did was pay his dues. The guy's a hell of a player. I think he's even going to be better this year because he's going to have a better understanding of the game, and you already have the media turning against him. But why? Why? And a lot of people say, well, you know, if you can't prove racism, you shouldn't bring it up. That's true. If we didn't consistently see guys of color be persecuted for less than nothing. Cam Newton was put on severe blast had the knob ripped off of the stereo. I mean,